Aloha. I'm Paul Normann. I'm the Executive Director of Neighborhood Place of Puna. Neighborhood Place of Puna is a nonprofit serving families in Puna and East Hawaii on the island of Hawaii. Today, I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about compassion. I mean, compassion is such a really important value, especially in the work we do. And I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about it. So, you know, quite simply, compassion is concern for the other. It is being aware of the suffering, hardships, mishaps of the other, and being motivated to take action to alleviate that suffering, that pain, or to help in some way. Um, Traditionally, compassion gets translated as to suffer with, to co-suffer. And I don't really like that very much. It's so dark and gloomy. Um, and it makes it feel like we're going to lead our lives kind of in these dark, depressing, emotional states. And the reality is that people who have a high level of compassion are actually quite joyous. And I think it has something to do with their connectivity with others, their ability to connect with others, their ability to um, kind of enjoy life in a really big way. And so, to experience compassion, to reach out to another, to open yourself up to the hardship of another is a way to open yourself up to relationship, to get yourself out of your own isolation and sense of separateness. Um, and in that way, it's a kind of a key to finding some true happiness. Because when you're concerned about the suffering of another, you are less concerned about your own suffering, your own pain, your own hardship, your own difficulties. Um, and of course, with compassion, the easiest people to have compassion for are those who are closest to you. I mean, it almost arises spontaneously. You see someone you know very closely, and your heart opens, and you want to do something to alleviate their pain, their whatever they're going through. But compassion, the further people are from us, the more they are estranged from us, the more their lives are different from us, then it's harder for us to have compassion. And that is the area we need to work on. We need to work on having compassion for those that we don't encounter every day in our lives. And of course, we're in the field of helping families. We're in the field of, particularly, we help a lot of families who are at the verge of homelessness. And for most of us, we're very fortunate. And it's homelessness and a lot of the trauma and difficulty that goes around being homeless, we don't know that. And so for us, it takes work to generate compassion for families who are experiencing homelessness. The other thing that I think it's really important to be aware of is that when we talk about compassion, it's not just enough to be aware of it. There's an action component. So to be compassionate is to be moved to take action. Now, of course, we can't help everyone. We may want to, but we can't. I mean, our scope of influence is limited, but we must take some action. And this is a little bit of my perspective, but when we're looking at our community around us and the people who are suffering and hardship, we really need to be aware of people's resilience and resources. So someone who has a lot of resources, who has a lot of capacity for resilience, they are deserving of our compassion and some action towards them. But the people that we need to be super aware of trying to help are the ones who have less resources, less resilience. And that might be emotional resilience, it might be physical resilience, Um, the people who these pains and these sufferings are going to drive them further and further down without an opportunity to recover. So when our heart is moved, right, because that's what we want, is we want to always keep our heart open, keep our heart soft, so that when we see another human in pain and in difficulty, our heart is touched in some way, and we feel moved to help them. We may not know what that exactly looks like at the moment. We may not know exactly what to do, but we're always trying to move through life with our heart. That we're always trying to live in such a way, to take action in such a way that there is less pain and suffering in the world. And the first step is to continually work on expanding the scope, the reach of our compassion, to not just include those, our loved ones, those who are really close, but to include the people who are on the periphery of our life or even outside of our normal day-to-day experience. So I hope this has been a little helpful. Please follow neighborhoodplaceofpuna.org. You can like our channel. You can get our newsletter if you'd like. And together, we can create a community in which all children grow up in a safe, stable, and nurturing home. Aloha and mahalo.